and welcome to the very first Grey Hood movie review. Okay, we are going to be doing, I'm trying to do at least one review a week. We're going to be reviewing mostly new films, but I'm going to go back and review some older films as well, just to give you different flavours on how things go and how I view movies. First film we're going to do is one of the newest films out. It is Coming to America, the sequel to the original Coming to America, starring Eddie Murphy, Arsenio Hall, and all the original cast. Now, Eddie Murphy, James Earl Jones, Arsenio Hall, Shari Headley, and most of the original cast are back. And there are some new ones. There's Leslie Jones, Jermaine Fowler, who I like. Jermaine Fowler, I think he's got a good future. And of course, in a small role, we have Wesley Snipes. Now, the plot of the film is really simple. Prince Hakeem becomes king when his father, Jaffe Joffer, dies. But he finds out he's got a bastard son from when he was in Queens 30 years previously. And Wesley Snipes is playing the ruler of the neighbouring kingdom, who has basically threatened to invade Zamunda unless they find a future king or sort of have an arranged marriage. It's a bit of a weird situation. All in all, it means that Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall as Hakeem and Semi go back to Queens for a globe-trotting adventure to find the son he didn't know he had. Now, I'll be honest with you, I fully went into this film fully expecting it to be really bad. I wasn't expecting miracles. I was expecting it to be trite, overly funny, overly attempting to be funny. I was expecting a lot of scatty toilet humour. I just wasn't expecting a lot. And to be honest, I'm quite pleased to tell you that I was wrong. Now, as I said before, the main characters from the original film are back, and a lot of them have very clearly aged. It's been 33 years, so no surprise. Eddie Murphy, though, that man does not age. I don't know what's going on there, but he's barely changed. Obviously, James Earl Jones is getting on a bit and foreshadowed something which is probably going to happen in the next couple of years. Unfortunately, his character does die, and that is going to be a real shame for the movie world when that happens. And basically, Eddie Murphy then becomes king, and he goes on has to try and find his son back in Queens. Brings his son back to Zamunda, and there's all sorts of hijinks and sort of tests and various things for his son to become king once Eddie Murphy is no longer king. Now, near the beginning of the film, there's a really nice scene actually. It got nicer as it went along. At first I thought it was a bit trite, I thought it was a bit saccharine, thought, they're just trying to shoehorn everything in there, but then when watched it was brilliant. Had a load of legends in it. Morgan Freeman, En Vogue, Salt and Pepper, Gladys Knight. I was just watching it to the end of that scene. It was genius, and it was such a good thing to see them all in the film. Now, so basically, the film overall is a really nice bit of nostalgia. It sort of brings back memories of the original film, and it does bring back a lot of nostalgic memories for that time. I remember watching that film in the cinema originally, and yeah, it does. It really just evokes so many memories. Now, the original characters are exactly the same. They look older, but the characters themselves are exactly the same. So that it really helps with sort of remembering the original film. And some of the new characters do bring a nice touch of modernity to what could have been just a pure sort of 80s garbage if it had been done wrong. No, this is far from a brilliant film, with some really sort of dodgy sections. There's nothing sort of gross or inappropriate, but there's some bits in it that for me just really sort of jarred against the overall style of the film. But there are far more moments when I legitimately laughed out loud, and those moments that had me laughing out loud far outweigh sort of the negative aspects of the film, and it definitely pushes it up to a positive side of a score for me. Now, looking back on the original, I would have given the original probably like an 8 out of 10 at the time. And looking online, looking at Rotten Tomatoes, the aggregate score for reviewers for this one is, I think, 52% at the moment. It's a little bit over 5 out of 10. Personally, I'm going to give this one like a 6 out of 10. It's, you know, it's an easy sort of film to watch. And it's not a bad film, but it's not great. It does have its flaws quite badly, and it is let down a little bit in places, but it's funny enough to stay on the positive side of the scoreline. Now, would I recommend it to you guys? Yeah, if you love the first one or you have a strong 80s obsession, absolutely recommend it straight off, no problem whatsoever. If it's your first go at an Eddie Murphy film, no, I wouldn't recommend this one as your first shot. I would say go back, watch some of his earlier stuff, see him at his prime, see him at his absolute cinematic performance prime in the original Coming to America, Beverly Hills Cop, and an excellent film, The Golden Child. They are just, you know, and then once you watch those, come back and watch this one. Don't use this as a launch pad into Eddie Murphy's film career. You won't thank yourself overall. Yeah, but definitely 6 out of 10. It's not a bad film. It's definitely, I'm going to watch it again. So, you know, that is, I think that, you know, the fact I'm going to watch it again tells you it can't be that bad. If it was really bad, I would never watch it again. For now though, hope you enjoyed that. If you have any ideas for films you'd like me to review, put them in the comments, and I'll see what I can do for you. For now though, thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next time. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe and tune in whenever you see the little bell ring to tell you I've been online. Thanks for everything. Bye bye.